Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be learning how to cut and sew a leggings or a pencil trouser. Now this is just all we're going to need. So first and foremost, we are going to, the length of our leggings is going to be 39 inches, but we're going to have to draw a line at the top and on the beginning just so as to create a good amount of allowance for the end product. So we just went ahead to mark 1 inch at the side and the bottom. So now guys, we're simply going to draw in our 39 inches length of leggings. So we're going to be minusing 1 inch, which is going to be for the band. Okay, so from that 1 inch now, that's now our starting point, the line that we have just drawn. So from there we're going to draw our length of leggings like so. Now we're just going to rule that out like that. So now we're just going to impute the lines that we need. Okay, so from that starting point minus 1 inch, we're going to draw our hip line, flap line. We're going to be using a knee line and a calf line. Okay, so our hip line is 9 inches, and then our flap line minus 1 is 12 inches. Minus that one right there for the band. So our knee line is 22 inches. Okay, 22 inches guys. Then our calf line is 27. So in order for you to get these lines, you just measure your body parts and see where your knee is and where your calf is. Okay guys, it's really simple. So now we've gone ahead to draw everything. Draw the line. We have our waistline, hip line, flap line, knee line, calf, and then the bottom of the leggings. So now we're just going to impute our real measurements now. So the hip line, which is gotten by dividing the round circumference of the hip divided by 4, and we have 9.75 inches, but this leggings is a stretchy fabric, so we're going to be minusing 1 inch from the initial measurements. And okay, we're just going to minus 1 inch from the initial measurements like so. So after minusing 1 inch, we're simply going to have 8.75. so we're just going to go on ahead now and mark that out. Okay, so now we're going to go on the flap line as well. Our flap is 23 inches, and 23 inches divided by 2 is 11.5. So we're also going to minus 1 inch from 11.5 guys, and that's going to give us 10.5 inches. As you can see, the flap is gotten by circumference of your lap, circumference of your lap divided by 2. Okay, so just going to mark that out now. We're not really putting any allowance because we're going to be putting our sewing allowance after everything. So now we're going to transfer the hip measurements to the waist measurement. That's 8.75 inches, and just draw a straight line down like so. And on this line that we have just drawn, we're going to start from there and then draw our waist measurements. Okay, we're going to use that to impute our waist measurement, and our waist measurement is 7.5, but minus 1 is going to be 6.5 inches. So on that point, we're just going to do that and then connect it to the hip. This is so as to create our curve, our hip curve. There are different methods you can create your hip curve or your leggings curve or your pants curve or anything. This is one method. Okay guys, so now we're just going to connect our hip to our flap line. We're also going to transfer the hip measurements onto that point just so as to create a defined flap line or connection rather. So we're going to raise it up by 1/4 of an inch so as to curve that area like so. So we're just going to extend that straight line now to the flap line so as to make a curve like this. So now for the rest of the pants guys, we're going to calculate what we have on the flap line and then we're going to divide it by 2. So we have 10.5 inches. 10.5 inches divided by 2, okay, that's going to give us 5.25 inches. You can use your tape or you can use a calculator, whichever one you choose, but I'm using my tape for this and we have 5.25 inches there. So we're just going to mark 5.25 inches on that point right there, and then we're also going to mark 5.25 inches for the rest of the lines, that is the knee line, on the calf line, and then on the bottom of the pants. Okay, so just see what we're going to do now. So just draw your 5.5 inches all the way down like so. Yeah, after doing that, we're just going to connect everything now together to form a bigger straight line. Okay, so yeah guys, we've successfully drawn our straight line now. So for this part, we're simply going to calculate the circumference of our knee line, of our calf line, and for the ankle part, which is the bottom of the trouser, and then we're going to be dividing it by 4. Okay, 4 inches, and on both sides we're going to mark whatever we get after dividing by 4. We're going to mark it on both sides. So for the knee line we have 16 inches, so we're going to divide 16 inches by 4. Okay, just see what we're doing. That is divided by 2, that is 8, and 8 divided by 2, that is 4. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be using my tape to divide. So now we're going to mark 4 inches on both sides guys, on both sides of that center line that we have just drawn. Okay, this is to get an accurate measurement of our pants. Okay, so we're just going to go on ahead to mark that 4 inches on both sides like so, and then adding them together you realize you get 8 inches. So now on the calf line we have 13.25 inches, so we're just going to divide that out into 4 as well, and then we're going to mark our end result on both sides of the line. Okay, and now we have 3.25 inches, so we're going to mark in 3.25 inches on both sides of the straight line like so. Now on the calf line as well, or the ankle line rather, we're simply going to calculate that out, dividing by 4. 10 inches divided by 4 is going to give us 2.5 inches guys. So we just need to take accurate measurements of our knee line, calf line, our ankle line in order to get a perfect leggings or trouser basically. So now we're just marking that 2.5 inches right there, and then after those lines have been drawn, we're simply going to connect everything together now, so you can see how slim and how straight the leggings will look like. So we're just going to connect everything together like so, exactly the way that I'm doing here. We're going to blend that out so as to form a curvy hip curve. Okay, we do not want a defined pointy line, so as not to have like a weird look on our leggings or trouser. So now we're going to connect the knee line to the calf line. On both sides. And then we're also going to do the same thing for the calf line and the ankle line as well. So now guys, this is all that we have for the front piece of our leggings. So remember, we're going to be adding 2 inches for our band. Okay, 2 inches on the top there for our band. And if this were a pencil trouser, we're simply going to add 2 inches from this point right here all the way down. 2 inches guys. And then on the other side, we're simply not going to add anything. Okay, just 2 inches on that point right there. So now for these leggings, we're simply going to go down by 1 inch on that point right there, so as to create a slant look. We're also going to, you can also do that for our trouser. I'm saying pencil trouser because this is a stretchy fabric. Okay, so we cannot do that for a non-stretchy fabric. Okay guys, a non-stretchy fabric will require a lot of allowance. All right, so we're just going to go down by 1 inches, which we've done now, like so. So we went ahead to add 1/2 inch allowance all the way. You know, I said we're going to add 1/2 inch allowance, so we did not add an allowance beforehand. This is to sew it, and on that point right there, we're going to be adding 2 inches for the band. So now the front piece is done. So now for the back piece, we're just going to take the front piece, and then I'm just going to use a masking tape to stick everything together like this. So there's nothing really hard about the back piece for the leggings. We just need to add appropriate allowance on the sides that need allowances, and on this flap line right here, for a trouser, we're going to be adding 2 inches like I said before. But for the leggings now, which is a stretchy fabric, okay, on the flap line we're going to be adding 1 inch allowance. First of all, we're going to go down. All right, we're going to go down by 1/2 inch, guys. Take note, we're going to go down by 1/2 inch. This is so the butt is able to sit well. Okay, we're just going to go down by 1/2 inch like so, and then connect it to the point of the front piece. All right, now we're just going to extend it by 1 inch. 1 inch. Remember, if it were a non-stretchy fabric, you would extend it by 2 inches. Okay guys, so now on this points right here, we're going to go up by 1 inch. For the back piece, remember, we've not added the 2 inches allowance yet, so we're just going to go up by 1 inch and then connect it to the front piece. All right, and then we're going to connect that point now to the waist of the front piece, exactly like I'm doing here. So now for the bottom of the trouser, we're just going to extend that line, which is 1 inch all the way, and then we're going to connect it to the trouser. It is best that we connect it to the part below, or above rather, the knee line. We do not want it too big, which is why I'm not connecting it all the way to the knee line or the calf line. Okay, so we're just going to do that like this. So now I'm going to extend my 1 inch to the flap in order to make a curve. We are simply adding allowance for the bum to sit perfectly on any figure at all. We need to add the appropriate allowance for the bum area. So now we're going to mark 1/4 of an inch so as to get the perfect line, guys. Now we're going to connect that to the waist of the back piece. We're just going to slant it like so. Blend that out, and now this is all that we have for the back piece, guys. This is basically everything that we have for the back piece. So now we're just going to go on ahead and cut it out. All right, just like this. Ensure you're not cutting the front piece along with the back piece, okay? Yeah. So now I'm going to add extra pattern paper because the first one wasn't long enough, and this is so as to make our allowance for the back and the front piece. Okay, so our allowance for the band is going to be 2 inches, and now as you can see, we just went ahead to simply mark that out like so. Okay, so it is important that we mark our 2 inches in the same way that the lines are going, okay, slanted or straight. We have to put that into consideration. So now if you fold, you can see that, okay, we have the band ready, and now we're just going to go on ahead to cut our fabric and start sewing. So now this is the front and the back piece all cut out, 2 pieces each. Okay, so now we're just going to take one of the front pieces, all right, and then we're going to take one of the back pieces as well, and then we're going to align both sides together. All right, so we're just going to align everything together, waist to waist, hip to hip. Okay guys, just like I'm doing, like so. This is a stretchy fabric, so in order for it not to stretch more, we're just going to pin everything in place. All right, and then we're going to sew the sides together like so. Then we're going to do the same thing, the same exact thing for the other part of the leggings. All right, sides to sides, front piece to back piece. Okay, so here guys, we just went ahead to pin everything in place so we can sew accurately. All right, just pin everything together. If you don't need to pin, then you don't need to pin. So guys, when we're sewing the other part of the leg, we're just going to join those sides together and then sew 1/2 inch all the way around, guys. So we've gone ahead to sew everything like so, 1/2 inch all the way down, 1/2 inch all the way. All right, so now in order to sew the other parts, we're just going to flip our leggings inside out to the right side, and then we're simply going to match the flaps together. All right, we're going to match the crotch parts together, and then we're simply going to sew 1/2 inch as well, all the way to the front and all the way to the back. We're going to match the front piece as well, and the back piece as well too, and then we're going to sew 1/2 inch all the way to the other side, which is the front piece. Just like so. And then we're going to fold the hem of the pants 2 times. Okay, so now we've gone ahead to sew everything, the sides and then the crotch parts. Okay, so also stitch the back as well. And now for the band. We simply calculated my waist, which is 30 inches, and then minus 3 inches because of the elastic, and just stitched everything together with the allowance 1/2 inch, and then we just pinned it to the band of the leggings, folding about 1/2 inch in order to refold so as to sew all the way around the waist of the leggings, like so. And then as we're sewing, we're going to be dragging everything in order to enable the elastic get everywhere. All right, so yeah, we're just going to go on ahead and sew that now. So as you can see, we simply just stitched it up, as I said, gave that neat look and that neat finish, and now you can see that it stretches easily on the skin. So guys, this is all for the leggings now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we also stitched the hem of the pants as well twice. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on that post notification bell.